This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Big Frazer Clarke up here in Manchester. Frazer, you checked in probably half an hour ago and I've already hunted you down for an interview. It's good to see you though. How are things going?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Um, got up here to Manchester not long ago, like you said, and yeah, time to just check in now and sort of zone into the fight week. Gradual build up, usual shenanigans, and looking forward to it. Yeah.
Time to zone in as you say, but does this feel different, Frazer, because of a man who's going to be in the opposite corner to you? Yes, you'll still be a favourite, but Kamil Sokolowski, the toughest test of your career so far, and somebody who will come, and if he has any kind of, if you give him any reason to be confident, rather, he will run with it and he will make it and hard night's work for you.
100%. You know, I've got full respect for Kamil as a fighter. You know, I've watched a lot of his fights over the years. I have to be switched on. I have to do my job and show this man the respect he deserves, which I'll definitely do.
It's obviously coming now at this stage in your career, but has it relieved some form of kind of those frustrations you've had in your initial stages when you look back on, your debut opponent Jake Darnell, the frustrations of kind of him stepping in at the last minute. Bracamonte you dealt with in unbelievable fashion. I think you amongst everybody would have thought this is where things pick up now. I mean, obviously we saw what happened in Liverpool wasn't, again, not your fault, but there was obviously frustrations boiling. How excited are you now to face somebody like Kamil, where if you do come through successfully, there will be a great deal of respect and credit given your way?
Yeah, let's hope we just turned the corner. You know, these things happen. What I've come to realise, professional boxing is not like a routine. You know, things happen last minute all the time. Anything can happen. But hopefully we turn the corner in terms of opponents and matching. And these are the kind of fighters that I need at this stage of my career. So it's sort of, being switched on and being on it and being ready for whatever comes. But like I say, I'll never take nothing for granted in pro boxing now. Until you're in the ring with that opposite man in the corner, that can change the last minute. We always say, just prepare for anything. And I feel like I am prepared for whatever comes on Saturday night.
What do you feel does come on Saturday night?
A lot of pressure. A man that's very tough. He'll be winging in a lot of right hands, a lot of left hooks, a lot of big shots. We'll fight for 3 minutes of every round. We'll touch gloves once at the beginning, and probably have an embrace afterwards. But in them minutes of the fight, we're fighting, and we'll go for it definitely.
One thing as well, which I didn't actually think about earlier till it was mentioned to me, Kamil's had effectively a full camp for this. It's not like you're asking him to come in on 2 weeks' notice like he has in the past. He's had, 6 to maybe 8 weeks for this?
Got to be 6 or 8 weeks now, definitely, yeah. So I imagine he'll be in great shape and he'll be fit, strong. But who wants to box someone like the people I've boxed before that have been last minute? That's never been a choice of mine. Do you know what I mean? I'm in this game to box people and get better and improve. And I feel like if I am boxing people on a week's notice and 2 weeks' notice, it's not doing nothing for them. It's definitely doing nothing for me. So this will be a proper yardstick, and we'll see where we're at.
Kamil's obviously got a few fights on his record where most people will say should have gone in his favour and they didn't. But most recently, you look at Otto Wallin took him the distance. Bakadir Jalalov stopped him. Somebody you'll know from the amateur days. What do you anticipate for yourself? Are you thinking about trying to stop him like Jalalov did? Are you thinking just better what Otto Wallin did? How are you looking at it?
I've not even thought about any of them two, to be honest. I've not even thought about his past performance. I've just thought about doing what I've been doing in the gym and going in there and doing the best version of me. The best version of me beats the best version of him. It is that simple. That's the God's honest truth. But it's all about getting it right on the day and doing it right. Like you said, Jalalov stopped him. He's a freak. He's just got massive power. He's just deadly backhand. Otto Wallin went the distance with him. I feel like hasn't done Otto Wallin justice. He's a better fighter than he was that night. But like I said, I've watched the fights because obviously I'm a boxing fan in the past. But on the build-up, I've not looked into them because that's not what's important. It's important me going in there and doing my job.
For you, Frazer, when you kind of consider the skill set and your abilities, how would you actually assess where you feel you could box now at this stage of your career? Would you say you're British level? Would you say you're European? But it's just a matter of getting the experience under your belt?
Yeah, I'm a 3-0 prospect. That's what I am. I'm a 3-0 prospect with good ambition, feet firmly on the ground, and I know I need to improve. I'm definitely not the finished article. I need to improve, and I'm taking the right steps in the gym. getting a bit of travelling in, get some good sparring with different people, different experiences. I'm doing everything what a prospect should be doing.
I mean, let's just touch on some of that sparring and just let me know how you feel you held up. You mentioned Fabio Wardley, so we just had a brief chat there. How did that go? Obviously, he's getting ready for his British title fight with Hatton-Gorman.
Yeah, great rounds, competitive rounds. He's in a good place. Obviously, he's fighting for the British title. Just a competitive spar, how it should be. Good sparring. We could fight each other one day. Who knows? But I think we both got our heads on our shoulders, and we understand that you need good work in order to improve and get better in the gym and prepare for fights. So, good vibe. Always had a lot of time for Fabio. I like him as a fighter. I like him as a person. So, yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Daniel Dubois, again, another man who you've shared the ring with recently. Walk me through that, and how do you feel he's developed from when you would have previously shared the ring to now?
Oh, chalk and cheese. He's a different fighter. Different fighter. He's gone up a level, and I feel like he's still probably got a couple of levels to go up. I don't think he's nowhere near the finished article, but he's very good. And I think everyone knows he's powerful and he can whack, but there seems to be a lot more to him this time. Do you know what I mean? I think even from the way he was taking instruction and carrying out in the spar, so I was impressed with him, and that also gave me a good view on where I am and where I need to develop. Great rise, good experience again. Very welcoming down there at the McGuigan gym, and really enjoyed the experience. And hopefully I can get down again.
I mean, looking at kind of the future of a British heavyweight scene, Daniel's there, you're going to be there soon. Down the line, do you feel like that could be a huge kind of world title bout? Do you think that you will both reach that level and it could be one which could sell out, whether it be an arena or a stadium?
I mean, if we both get to that level, I don't see why not. I think, like I say, he'll be concentrating on the arena. He'll smash him. He'll destroy him. He'll punch him and he'll disappear, mate. Honestly, he hits that hard. But yeah, I've got to keep progressing. I've got to keep winning. Like I said, I always get asked about the Joyce fight, and I always say, I'm not even at the table yet to be in the discussion. I'm realistic. I'm not daft, and I know that them guys they're light years ahead of me at the minute. Do I want to get to where they are? Absolutely. Would I fight them if I got there? 100%. But it's all about the journey and getting there first. I've got to deal with what's in front of me, and that's Kamil on Saturday night.
I mean, you've just said it there yourself. You're at two very different stages of your career. When you look at yourself and Joe waiting for his world title opportunity, you're still building yourself up, getting more experience under your belt, Frazer. But with Joe's age coming into consideration and kind of his style and how open he is to getting hit, do you feel like there will be a point you will cross paths, or do you think timings may not align?
No, I think we will. Joe's good to go for another for 6 or 7 years. He's fit and healthy. He'll go as long as he wants. And to be honest, the way the division's at and where it's at and the way it's messing around, by the time I built myself up, he might still be waiting for his world title shot, because he seems to be waiting forever. Bless him, and he deserves that world title shot. But like I say, I'm going to build and do what I need to do. If it makes sense and down the line it's a fight which people want to see, I'm sure we'd get on. I'm sure it'd be an absolute cracker.
One final one, Frazer, just get your thoughts on, in a sparring senses, your rounds with Fury-Chisora, now fellow 258 man getting ready to face Tyson Fury come December 3rd. Just reflect on that experience for me, please.
It's good to spar with Derek. It's good to be around Derek. Derek's seen a lot. He's done a lot. He's got a good mentality. I like to see the way he puts his camps together. Derek put me through. Derek, I know what I'm talking about. He put me through an S&C session with his coach, and he knew what he was doing. He put me through hell. But I thought we was going to do the same session. It ended up he sort of personalised one for me, but let me tell you, it took me to the limit. Some horrible dumb kettlebells, nasty pieces of work. But I enjoyed it. Like I say, a couple of days down there with him, 2 spars. I think you're going to see. I think the best version of Derek Chisora is here in front of you now. Experienced, a better athlete than he ever has been. Solid, even his mind. I think he's better, and obviously got better with age and experience. So, this fight isn't turning everyone on, but I do think you're going to see a more competitive fight than you've ever seen. And the thing is, in the heavyweight division, you can never say never. He's very, like you say, unlikely. I think Tyson Fury is a massive favourite, but you switch off against Derek Chisora at your own peril, because you can switch your lights out with one shot.
I don't think you'll find many people who will favour Derek over Tyson in that fight. That's no disrespect to Derek, just Tyson's obviously looked at as being in a league of his own at this moment in time. What's Derek's best chance though? How does he actually go about having that opportunity to defeat the man who many look at as being the best in the division?
How would I do it? That's what I'm trying to think. If you got to try and you've got to try and get over that jab. You got to try and get your right hand over that jab, ain't you? If I was Derek, the shorter man going for the bigger guy, you'd probably stab downstairs, backhand comes over the top. You're getting someone who he knows what's coming. He's elusive. He's smart. You're gonna have to catch him on a really bad day to probably hit him with the shot you need to catch him with. But I feel like I wouldn't know. No one's found the key to the lock yet, have they? Do you know what I mean? So I think Derek's best chance is to get in there and make it a fight. He can't be lazy. He's got to let Tyson know that he's in a fight straight away, and do his best. But like I say, it's a difficult task.
One thing I'm curious to know is, during your sparring with Derek Frazer, especially over the last few years, people have kind of looked at Derek's engine as not being at the best, despite his kind of relentless, aggressive nature and coming forwards. Was he kind of keeping up with you? Was he showing that his engine will take him into those later rounds if it's needed against Tyson?
He's fit. He's fit and he trains like a beast. He trains like a man possessed. So yeah, 100% he's fit. Don't worry about Derek Chisora's engine. He's as good can be.
Just to link back to yourself, Frazer, before I get your thoughts on a few other fights. I know you don't want to look beyond Saturday night on the challenge of Kamil Sokolowski, but you come through successful, unscathed. Is there anybody you look at and you feel would be then be the next good step up for yourself?
I've been very focused on Kamil, to be honest. I really have. But there's names out there that I don't want to put names in mouths and stuff, but I don't want to jump the gun, because we'll probably go up to 8 rounders next. So I don't know. I have to look at the other prospects' opponents, and then go through the database get on BoxRec and have a look. But I'm sure the options are out there. But it's about finding the right ones now. Not people that are going to come in and jump on the round after they took a shot or two. It's time for me to be asked some questions and answer some questions. It's the only way to progress.
Frazer, I don't know how much kind of in the past involvement you've had in the opponents have been placed with yourself. On the back of kind of the first few fights of your career now, going in with Kamil Sokolowski, have you kind of said to your team, I want to have more of a say in who I fight to ensure that we can progress together and we don't have any of the previous issues you have?
Yeah, 100%. There's fighters I've said no to. There was fighters put forward for this particular fight which I said no to. I'll tell you how it went. The first fight, totally out of my control. That was COVID's problem. We got the late replacement. The second fight was the comeback after I broke my hand. We had one opponent penciled in. Something went wrong with his visa. In comes Bracamonte, which I didn't think was a bad replacement. He came in, so I said, yeah, I looked at who he's been in with. No, what he's been with Miller. No problem, we'll take that. The third fight, I can't remember his name, but the fella, they've showed me his box rec, and we had a look. 7 wins, 5 knockouts. I said, okay, let's have a little look at him on YouTube. We had a look, and to be fair, the fight I see, he took the guy out. I said, yeah, no, I feel like that's a good fight. He's unbeaten. He's young. He's hungry. Let's take it. He gets here. It's a bit of a different story, It can be deceiving, the internet. The guy's like 15 stone, very timid. Didn't look like he wanted to fight. It's sort of out of my control again. Do you know what I mean? What do you do? What do you do? Because the names that you'd want me to go in with, believe it or not, and people don't know but will know, this is a business, and everyone has a price. Some people are coming in with ridiculous prices, so that it's just not going to work business wise. Do you know what I'm saying? So we took him on the account that he's 7-0 with 5 knockouts. What I seen, he was bowling someone over. He looked young. He looked ambitious. just wasn't meant to be. And then with this fight, I don't think there's too much needs to be said about Kamil. He's well respected throughout the industry, worldwide, I'd say. I think everyone knows this is the guy that's there to sort of test their sort of prospects and people coming through. So, let's see where this goes.
Away from yourself, Fraser, obviously it's on the undercard of a boxer show, which then turns into a Legends Night of Ricky Hatton and Marco Antonio Barrera. Now, we saw some unique content of yourself and Ricky recently, and coming from another Only Fools and Horses fan, I must say I enjoyed it myself. What was it like to be around Ricky, and for yourself? It might only be an exhibition, but are you excited to see him return to the ring on Saturday night?
It was a fantastic day, we just had a laugh. It's like having a laugh with one of your mates, you know what I mean? And that's all it was. A lot of the same interests: football, boxing, no pressure, a bit of a giggle. Probably, during camp, and it's been a hard camp for me and for him as well. So it was a down day for me, down day for him. We managed to get together and do a little bit. Listen, Ricky Hatton and Barrera, I'm a massive boxing fan. Everyone knows they'll go down. For me as legends. So just spend that time with him and to be on the undercard, it's quite nice. I'll sit there and I'll watch with a smile on my face, hoping they both show a bit of skills. And more than anything, I think, to see two retired ex-world champions with a smile on their face in a good place, because when you look around, there's not that many boxers or retired boxers that seem to be in that good place, you know what I mean? So to see that would be nice, because remember, I've looked up to these two from kids. So, I think it'd be nice for them and it'd be nice for the fans. And let's roll the dice one more time, Ricky.
You say one more time, there were a few rumours that he may be fighting Mayweather next year. Your thoughts?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. But you know what, like I say, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because how do you sell it? That's the problem. How do you sell the exhibition fights? Because do you go for it? Do you not go for it? Is it extortionate in price? What if he's enjoying it, and if it's keeping him fit, it's keeping him motivated, giving him something to do, why not? But yeah, that Mayweather still looks like he's in really good nick, doesn't he? To be fair, he looks sharp still, and he'll have a play this weekend with that Deji, whatever his name is, won't he? So, like I say, but I'm not thinking about Mayweather. He can do whatever he wants, but in terms of Ricky, if he's enjoying it and he fancies it, why not?
Fraser, away from that, I'm keeping with the heavyweight division now. Wilder-Ruiz was ordered finding a final eliminator by the WBC. Just get your breakdown on what you expect from it.
Oh, I love that fight. And a lot of people will call me crazy. I know they will. I've had a bet with my mate, to be fair. Small bet, tiny, stupid bet. I think Ruiz wins the fight, And people will call me crazy. No way Wilder will knock him out. I remember I've boxed these little short guys before. They are a nightmare. If you let them be. Saying that Wilder with Malik Scott. No, let me rephrase what I said. He could beat him. I'm not saying he will. He could beat him with this heavyweight division. Unless Wilder gets his tactic right, they're a nightmare. Punching down at them little fatties with fast hands, it's a nightmare. Because they can wallop. They can really wallop. Do you know what I mean? I got full respect for him. I like his style. And I think he can cause Wilder all sorts of problems. Obviously, Wilder goes in there as a big favourite. But I'd say, unless his eyes on the ball, don't call it an upset if Ruiz backs him up and does him, if you don't get him out of there.
It's interesting because the points you've just raised about why Andi could be successful, I spoke to him on Saturday after the Bivol Ramirez fight. Exactly what he said. All the other heavyweights struggle to punch down on him because of his height, and that's his advantage. So what's the way around it? Is it as simple as boxing how AJ did in a rematch with him in Saudi? Well, then obviously that's not Deontay's style. So
can Wilder box like that? I think with Malik Scott as his trainer, he can drill a lot of that into him. It might not come that naturally, but he can drill a lot into him. I think the key for Deontay Wilder in the fight with Ruiz is discipline. You have to be very disciplined in terms of you don't want to be over your front foot because he attacks very fast. You've got to keep your weight distribution on your legs very good, balance very good. Lead hand, very important. Control everything with the lead hand. The backhand will be there at times, but it won't be there as often as it is with everyone else who he fights. I imagine Ruiz will be coming forward, so you have to time him coming forward and keep moving. Hand position, you don't want to be leaning in too much and closing at a distance. There's so many factors to take into that fight. I just think it could be a really difficult night for him.
Sticking with Deontay Wilder, last week Eddie Hearn revealed that Shelley Finkel reached back out over potential talks over bout with your man Anthony Joshua. In camp, as AJ mentioned, that fight, and is he open? Does he want Wilder next?
I've not spoke to him about it. I imagine he will be, knowing him, I imagine he will be open for it. He's been open for every fight, to be honest. Every fight that's ever been put to him, he's been open for. But it's exciting times. I think they're both great for the division. They're the top tier of what we've got, aren't they, right now? You look at him, Usyk, obviously Tyson leading the way, AJ, Joyce, Daniel. They're a really good bracket. So if that fight was to happen, it'd be fireworks, be exciting, be great build up, and they're the fights people want to see, aren't they? So I don't see why not.
Just one final one on AJ. He did an interview with another outlet, and he mentioned kind of he wants to be a free spirit, as it were. He spent 11 years working with one coach. Now he feels he's at that stage where he can work with anyone. This is in reference to Robert Garcia, whether he'd be involved in the next camp or not. Follow-up question asked about Angel Fernandez, and he kind of moved on quickly from it. Do you have any understanding as to what AJ's training setup will be like when he returns?
Couldn't tell you. I just know that wherever he goes, he'll go where he feels most comfortable, where he feels best for him. Obviously, being a friend and a teammate, I want him in Loughborough with us and the boys. And I know he can get what he needs down there. I know that I have full belief in my coach. My coach is a great coach, and he will definitely improve Anthony in terms of going forward. But he's his own man. He's a big man. He's a grown man. He's been there. He's seen it. He'll do what he wants to do ultimately.
I mean, just getting your thoughts on a couple other fights. We mentioned Wardley earlier for your sparring. He's back with Hatton-Barrera. Great fight domestically, British title fight. You love it, we love it. How does it go?
Oh. I hate sitting on the fence, I hate it.
Don't get splinters, Frazer.
No, I hate it. I think Fabio can. Alright, I think Nathan could win the fight in the early stages. I remember sparring Nathan, very fast hands, very early on. There was always a problem with the engine. Whether that's sorted or not, I don't know. I feel like Fabio could probably start slow, but if he's still there at the halfway point, I'd have to make him a massive favourite because he's a fit guy, he's an athlete, he carries power throughout the fight. So yeah, I'm still on the fence, aren't I? Still there. I'm not budged. I've got a splinter up my arse. I'm going to say Gorman. I'm going to say Gorman. A referee will jump in if Fabio doesn't apply the right tactics early on.
Appreciate that answering me, and Frazer. It's a difficult one. It is a 50-50 fight as well.
Because that could be totally wrong. Fabio could blow him away in the first round. You can't really take nothing from sparring, and I'm not taking it around. I'm taking it more from watching their past fights. The honest answer, it's a great fight, and I think as a British heavyweight, it's one that I'll definitely enjoy. I'll be there ringside with a close eye on it. Just looking at hopefully one day in the future, I can get in the ring with these guys.
Obviously, there's another heavyweight fight which is headlining that, Dillian Whyte and Whyte-Franklin. Dillian's come back fighting the back of a Tyson Fury loss. What are you expecting to see from him in that one?
He should have definitely improved. He's been with Buddy McGirt. I only see what I see on Instagram, but he seems like a really good trainer, and he's got a really good stable. He seems to do a lot of the fundamentals right. And fundamentals is a thing which I personally think that Dillian was sort of lacking a little bit. I don't think there's any disrespect in saying that. I think toughness, hard hitting, are things that he's definitely got. But I just think probably the fundamentals is what Buddy McGirt would have been trying to get him to sort of work on, which don't come overnight. It takes a long time, a lot of years, and we're all still working on that day by day. I'm sure of it, but I'm sure to see improvement. I'm not sure about the Jermaine Franklin. I'm not seeing too much of him, to be honest. That'll be one I'll be going up and have a look on in a minute. Have a little YouTube of him. But I imagine if it's Dylan's comeback fight, they're not going to chuck him in the deep end. So I imagine it'll be a bit of a. Maybe you should, but the thing is with these Americans, you never know what's going to turn up. There's a lot of heavyweights, they've been around a lot of gyms, a lot of sparring. You got to be careful. You got to be on it.
Christopher Lovejoy fall into that same category?
Now you throw that name in there. It's like, do you badmouth him and get abused on Twitter, or do you just swerve the comment, swerve the question? But no, Christopher Lovejoy, he seems to be he's a character, isn't he? He's what boxing needs. And now that we've even mentioned his name in this, when he sees it, I'm gonna be on the Twitter. I know I am. I'm gonna be on the feed. But I'll welcome to it, and he's welcome to it on the boxing show anytime. I'm right here. I think we'd make a good entertaining night. But me and him, who knows? But see where we're at. But he's one of them names. He wants to fight every Englishman going, doesn't he? But I think he'll struggle with a few of the others, let alone me.
Right, so at least we know somebody who may be next in the ring with you, Frazer.
You know that question earlier? That was a good name. That was someone who possibly could have, and he'd get the juices flowing as well. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them people. He's larger than life character. He can fight a little bit, gets the juices flowing. That's what we're in the sport for.
That's brilliantly put. And Frazer, I'm going to leave a final word to yourself. Obviously, Kamil Sokolowski on Saturday night. Anything you'd like to end on ahead of your next outing, your fans who will travel up, and what everybody should be in store for?
No, I always appreciate the support. Once again, just a 3-0 prospect, trying his hardest to climb the ladder, working hard, very focused. I know I'm in for a tough night on Saturday. I was built for tough nights. That's it. Thank you everyone for the support.
Frazer, thanks for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
No worries, man. Anytime.